Hi, friend. Welcome to You Can Emerge Positive podcast. I'm Deanne Lewis. I'm the host. I'm also your guidance coach to creating the next decade of your life on purpose. It is something that is so important for all of us, though I work a lot with people that are in the middle of their lifetime in that crucial life pivot, chapter two, in creating something intentional. And that's really important right now because right now, we're almost through January. Like, we're okay, we're not almost through. We're halfway through January. It feels like we're almost through already. It is barreling through. And the whole kind of surprise and delay and excitement about the new year is already behind us. We're already kind of getting back into the swing of things. And because we're doing that, I think it's very likely for many of us that like our whole intentions of our New Year's resolutions and the goals that we want to set are starting to fall by the wayside. And that is really it's upsetting, right? It causes people to really start to question, like, am I setting the right goals? Am I going in the right direction? Is this really what I want my life to be like? And so this time of year can start to already feel a little heavy. And so, underneath all those questions, there's something deeper. There's something much, much deeper than that. And if you are standing at a crossroad in your life, if you're in a life pivot, maybe you're going through a divorce, or you're about to become or are an empty nester, or a whole bunch of other reasons that are just big kind of changes in your life, well, you may also be thinking as well, this is also hard. You know that what worked before is not going to work in the next decade for you, or at least to get you where you want to go. And I know for me, I specifically feel that way about food and exercise. I'd say in the last 2 years, I finally just came to the conclusion that I cannot do the same workout and eat the same way that I always have my entire life. I have never had a problem with weight. I've never struggled with, exercise. I love to exercise, and I used to exercise very hard. But I can't do that anymore. Like my body just hates it. And I have finally said, okay, like I know this is not what is going to take me into my next decade. And maybe for you it's something completely different, but that has definitely been my experience so far. And I got to tell you, it's a really hard thing to swallow. Today, I want to talk about how you decide what to do next. If you are in that life pivot, if you are looking at a new career, or maybe you're looking at a big move, you want to move out of the country, you want to move out of the state, how do you make that decision? And how do you know you're making the right choice? These are things that can really, really weigh upon you. And I have to say, there is one thing that I highly recommend that you include in your decision making, and that is your intuition. It is our sixth sense. We all have it. It is a gift, it is a tool that we all should be using every single day. And I have to tell you, your intuition is really like a muscle. It has to get used to get stronger. And the more you use it, the more you lean on it, the more you can trust it and the more it will guide you. And I've got to tell you, my personal experience is that when I lean on intuition, I always end up in a better place than I expect. Even when it seems crazy or illogical or that something else should be happening. Like, what are other people going to think if I do this? And I have to tell you a little story about this because I don't think I've ever told anybody this story. So I moved to Atlanta, and that's a story for this podcast for later. But I moved to Atlanta. I'd been in an apartment for about a year, and I was getting ready to go back to Los Angeles for work, and I was packing. It was a Sunday. I was in my bedroom packing clothes for this trip. And as I'm packing my suitcase, I'm deciding that I'm going to sign my next, like my lease renewal on this apartment when I get back from LA. And so I kind of feel good, like, okay, I've just made that choice. When I come back, I'm gonna just re-up my lease and it'll be easy. Except what ended up happening next is that I kept getting this mental nudge, this feeling in my gut that would not let up. And as I kept trying to ignore it, it just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And this all happened within maybe 5, 10 minute period of time. And the nudge was to go get in my car and drive. And I thought, this is ridiculous. I'm in the middle of packing for a business trip. I don't have time to go for a Sunday drive, right? But it was so annoying and would not let up that I finally just succumbed and said, fine, I'm gonna go. And I just put on my coat, stormed out the door. It was in January, so it was cold. And I got in my car. I didn't even turn on the radio or any form of music, which I always do, because I was just kind of annoyed, frankly. Well, I ended up driving to a house. I mean, I have no idea how I knew where to go to this house. I just went to this house. This house had a for rent sign in front of it, and it was on a cul-de-sac. So I drove by the house very slowly, and then I wrapped around the cul-de-sac and came back and parked right in front of the house. And I'm just kind of sitting there looking at it going, huh. And just as I'm sitting there, the owner of the home, who did not live in the house at the time, he was already well moved out, he just happened to pull up and he rolled down his window and said, "Would you like to see the house?" I I was in shock. I was in such shock. But I went in with him and I don't even remember the house. Like I literally walked through. I didn't even look at the kitchen. I missed half of the rooms of the house because I was in this state of shock of I can't believe that this is happening right now. And I ended up, long story short, I ended up living in that house for the next 3 years, and it was fantastic. He was an amazing landlord, and it was really an amazing gift that I would have never had had I not just listened to the intuition that I had and followed through on it. Now, that's kind of an elaborate version, but it's true. And it's just an example for you on what could be happening for you. Like, think about right now. Is there something in your life where you feel like you're in a fork in a road? Or is there something that you know you're supposed to be doing and you keep putting it off? This is the time to really sink into your intuition and use it. It is an amazing tool that will guide you. And this is something that we are talking about in Beyond by Emerge Positive. And tomorrow we're having our very first live master's class, which is on the Life Pie. And it is about evaluating all of the aspects of your life and figuring out what is in balance and what's not, where you need to put your focus, because where we put our focus grows. And if you are interested in going through this masterclass with us, you can join the Beyond program for the month, take it in, go through it, see what you think. And if you don't like it, then you leave. It's fine. But the masterclass is tomorrow. So if you'd like to try this out, to try and work through that fork in the road or work through the life pivot that you are in, it is an amazing tool to use. And I highly recommend it. And since it's so convenient, we're doing this tomorrow, why not join us? Just go to emergepositive.com and you can sign up. And as soon as you're a member of the program, boom, you have access. So going back to the intuition, it is truly like a built-in compass or GPS. I'm going to say a compass because it really does. It shows you the direction of where you're supposed to go. It's not like this magic genie pops out, right? It's not an AI engine that's going to tell you exactly what to do and what to say. It is nothing like that, but it will guide you into a direction that is important. And like I said, it is like a muscle that you need to work. So start with small things. Start with what you should buy at the grocery store. Start with what direction you should drive when you're going on errands. Start with the small things and work up. I promise you, you will start to trust it because you'll start to see the results. It really is an amazing thing. Um, but some of the things about the internal compass is that it's quiet. You know, it's one of the hard things about our intuition is that it's not this loud thing that comes into your head. I mean, it will build up potentially, like my example that I just shared, but typically it's really quiet. You have to listen. You have to actually focus inward and listen to what's going on. And then the other thing that is incredibly important here, almost more important than that, is you have to feel. How do you feel about this? So, as an example, if you're in a life pivot or you're in a fork in the road in your life and you need to decide, am I going to go left or am I going to go right? Like, what am I doing here? Really concentrate on one of those choices and then see how you feel. What is your body telling you? If you feel light, if you feel good, well, then that's a very good indicator that that's the direction you should go. If you're feeling really heavy or sad or anger or anything that's not good, then that is a big, strong indicator that you should not go that way. How you feel is a huge piece of intuition, and using your tool correctly really you have to do that. It's a requirement to really think about how you're feeling and your body. Like you may start feeling a pain in your back or in your shoulder. Like your body will absolutely tell you. And as you work with this and use it more and more and more, I promise you it will be something that you will use all the time. I in my life when I have used my intuition and as I learned to use it, because I didn't believe in it until I was in my early 30s. I would say up until then, I was a very linear person. I didn't believe in anything that was woo-woo, and this to me was woo-woo. I didn't believe in it. But in my 30s, my life changed, and I started to believe it because I started to see the results and the outcomes of me leaning into it. And ultimately, what I'm seeing the pattern of is it always leads me to my greater good. Always. It is always leading me to a place that is better than where I was. And so now I really do learn to trust my gut on all decisions, specifically the big ones. Like I mentioned earlier, I did move to Atlanta. That move was very illogical. It was something that a lot of people thought I was crazy because I was moving from Los Angeles to Atlanta, which, if you live in LA, you think that that's the best place in the world, and it is great. I won't say that's not. It's a great place. But it was something, the move to Atlanta was this deep pull for me. It was this deep intuition saying, it is time to go there. And there was no logic to it. I didn't know anyone that lived there. My company didn't have offices there. Like it was not it just wasn't a logical move. But it is a move that I felt I just couldn't get away from. It just nagged at me over and over and over again. And I did ultimately go there. And I will tell you, because I did that, because I followed through, I paid off all of my debt. I ended up traveling the world and I met the love of my life, who I'm now married to. Like, it is crazy how that one thing, had I ignored it and said, that's crazy, or I can't do that, or it's irresponsible of me, or I have such a great job, I can't leave it. I mean, I could have come up with like a zillion reasons why I shouldn't have followed through with it, but I did it. I really did take the leap of faith because I trusted my instincts and my intuition at that point well enough where I knew it was the right thing to do. And it changed my life. Those 4 years in Atlanta absolutely, completely changed my life in all levels. I know if you are a woman in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s in that time frame, that you may be in this life pivot and you've spent your whole life, doing the support of your kids or your spouse or whomever, and now it's time for you. And now you're trying to figure out what am I going to do next? And maybe your intuition is telling you that there's a move or something else that feels very just not possible or even irresponsible or certainly selfish. And I'm here to tell you, don't let that be a block. Really lean into your intuition. And if you are you spending that time really thinking, how do I feel? How is this making my body feel? What is the signal that I'm getting back? And if you feel incredible every time you're thinking about that one thing that, requires you to move or whatever it may be, then talk to your family, talk to your spouse, talk to your partner and say, like, this is really important to me. Life is important. And if you are creating your life, you could potentially be missing something absolutely pivotal in you having a life that you love. So, your intuition is a spark, and I highly, highly encourage you to follow it. because it could end up in the most remarkable ending and the most remarkable thing that you couldn't even believe or envision on your own. That has certainly been my case. Um, has certainly been my case. And so it is important that you start to use it. And again, just play with it. Do little things with it until the muscle develops and grows up. So if your intuition is that powerful and we actually hear, what direction we should go, especially, now it's January and, we're starting this new year and people are actually more focused about it. But why don't we do it? Why aren't more people doing this? Why are you pushing it aside? And I think it's just because it's unknown. It seems illogical. You're worried about what other people think, which really all comes down with fear. So I invite you to take the space, just sit down and think about what is it? What fork in the road are you in? What life pivot are you in? What career change are you in? Or relationship change are you in? That you know that you need to make a change. You know that you need to end the relationship or move or create a new career or job. And think about what direction you should be going and how does that feel? What is your instincts and your intuition telling you? Because truly, 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 it is going to guide you in the way that you should go. Absolutely, 110% of the time. Now, if you're thinking, Deanne, this really resonates with me. Like I'm in a place where I need to make change. I'm in a life pivot. I'm in my midlife. I need to do something different. I'm dealing with an illness. I just got laid off. I'm dealing with a spouse and I that, we're not going to be together anymore. Well, this is exactly why I created Beyond for You. Beyond by Emerge Positive is the place to come to work with people, first of all, who are all in that same place in their life, who are all dealing with different life pivots of their own, but they're coming together to take charge of their life and create the next decade with intention, with clarity, and with confidence. And so I want you to know you don't have to do this alone. Yes, you have this amazing tool of intuition. No one else can, use that tool from you, right? That's yours. But you don't have to do it all alone. Get clear on what you want. Get clear on what direction you want to go. Come join Beyond and work on how you're going to get there, along with the tools and the accountability and the support that you want and need. It'll be so much more fun too. I got to tell you, these people we've got such a great group of women already in the program. And I know it's just going to continue to get better and better and better. So if this is something that it is my time to make a change, then come join us. Come join us at emergepositive.com and join Beyond by Emerge Positive. If there is nothing else that you take from today's episode, I want you to remember this. When you are at a crossroads, the most important voice isn't that loud voice out there. It is that quiet voice within you. It is that intuition telling you and guiding you where you should go. It's not reckless. It is not irresponsible. It's your inner compass. And it's a tool that is there for you to use. Use it. It will take you where you are meant to go. That life that you dream of that is waiting for you, it is going to be guided to you through your intuition. So lean on it. Well, really, that's all I'm going to say on today. This is such an important thing. It is such a deeply intuitive thing that you do need to work on and build up, but it's so worth it. If you have any questions on this, just DM me. I'm happy to talk to you about it because I've run the whole spectrum of this. I've started not believing in intuition and now I live my life with it. It is an incredible tool that you have, so use it. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I do hope that if you are in a life pivot, you are in a place in your, creating your chapter two, come join us. Come join Beyond by Emerge Positive and definitely come back and listen to the podcast. It's every Wednesday, only on YouTube. And I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks for joining.